Welcome back to Newsmax Now. We turn now to our personal impact segment. We'll bring you stories about others who are making the difference in the lives of other folks.
That's right. Our first story takes us to Colorado, where it turns out being outbid can actually be a good thing, a really good thing. Officer Sam Brownie died in the line of duty about 5 years ago. Recently, his patrol car just went up for auction, and his son Tanner tried to buy it. But Steve Wells quickly outbid him, paying $60,000 for the car. After he received the keys, though, Wells did the unexpected. Instead of taking it for a spin, he turned them over to Tanner, along with a big hug.
That got a lot of folks very emotional last week. Great story there.
It.
In North Carolina, an 81-year-old cancer patient and military veteran returns home from treatment only to find out he's got an empty fridge. Clarence Blackman was unable to get food, so he called 911 to ask for help. The operator then rallied a few police officers who picked up groceries for Blackman and even made him sandwiches. Blackman has received lots of donations. He's asking that they'll be sent to the Salvation Army to help other folks who are in the same situation, just like him.
Now, if these people can get it together, why can't the VA get its act together, right?
Well, this is a local police department, and
I mean, that's great.
Yep.
I like seeing that. Fast food worker in Kentucky not only hands out meals with a smile, but she did something so kind it caught the attention of other customers. Check out this video. Dr. David Jones secretly filmed Ridge Corrales, an employee at a Mexican grill, feeding a disabled customer after she asked for his help. The doctor said he was so excited to catch the heartwarming act on tape to show there's still some good in people in the world. Corrales says he thought nothing of helping the woman who uses a wheelchair to get around. Isn't that wonderful?
Still good out there in this world. And when your baby starts crying, it's time to leave the room. That's what some folks say, but that wasn't the case.
Is that what you do?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
and
not.
that totally changes. I used to just roll my eyes and get so mad. I'd be on a plane, there'd be a crying baby there. But after you have a child, your perspective totally changes.
I'm sure.
And that might have been why this wasn't the case at Jerusalem's Hebrew University. An image of Professor Sidney Engelberg here holding a student's baby has gone viral. When the baby started crying, Engelberg didn't kick the student out of the class. Instead, the grandfather of 5 took the baby into his own arms and calmed him down. And he continued to teach the class like nothing ever happened. The popular picture has now been viewed more than 1 million times online.
So you were one of those complainer, and then you were converted after your daughter was
Funny
born.
story, I was on a plane one time. I was coming back from our office in New York, and there was a mom on the plane, had 2 small children. And after you have your own kid, you fly a couple of times on a plane. I just made eye contact with her. She was coming to my row, and I said, you know what, just give me one of your kids. I'll hold him while you get everything situated. And it wasn't even a conscious thought, but once you have been in that position.
Give me your child.
I'm totally reformed. I'm done a complete 180 on this. I used to I'd be like, can't you keep your kid quiet? But now you have a kid, you travel on a plane, you get those death looks from people on airlines. You can totally empathize.
I've never given a death stare. I don't have a child, but I've never given a death stare.
Well, you shouldn't.
It's
a very uncomfortable
thing. That's what
thing.
headphones are for.
And also now the airlines charge you just a regular price to bring a child on the plane.
Well, they overcharge on everyone.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And they're posting record profits, so I hope anyone that works for an airline is listening right now. Not that they have anything to say over that. That's right.
Miss Khan here.
Well, this teen model from Australia is trying to change the way people view Down syndrome. Meet 18-year-old Madeline Stewart. She's an inspiring model who wants to raise awareness about Down syndrome. Madeline says she hopes creating more exposure will lead people to accept those with disabilities. She's quite, look at those poses. She's fierce. Look at that.
Amazing people. If you ever have a chance to talk to or work with folks affected by Down syndrome, even their family members, or it's just an amazing experience.
Right. Well, in fact, one of our crew members, Steve, he works with children with Down syndrome all the time, and he tells me these stories, and it's just amazing. They can speak multiple languages. They can do so many other things that people just aren't aware that they can do.
Exactly.
So,
well, it's never too late.
We're very lucky to have them with us.
That's right. It's never too late to say you're sorry for being a bully. Chad Michael Morissette recently received an apology from a man who used to make fun of him for being gay back in high school 2 decades ago. Morissette says it's the only apology he's ever received from a former bully. He accepted the man's apology and says it just goes to show you that people can change.
I love this story so much. I actually posted it.
Did I? Yeah, I think I saw that on her Facebook page.
Did you see that?
So this was actually sparked by the question that a daughter asked of a father, Daddy, have you ever bullied anyone?
Right. And he said he was embarrassed, but admitted to his daughter that he did, and then that prompted him to send that apology to him. And I think it's so great. I know a lot of people think like it's too late or they don't remember, but someone who has been bullied, I received a similar apology through Facebook, and it meant a lot.
Yeah, you know, and we talk about so much these days how bullying can be aggravated by the internet. There's so much bullying that goes on the internet.
Oh, it's horrible now.
But here's a case of someone using the internet to reverse the effects of bullying.
So maybe it will.
And setting a good example for his daughter.
Right. Maybe it will inspire some of you at home.
Yep.
Well, coming up, a look at your final headlines, including ISIS taking a major city in Iraq.
And Pope Francis canonizes 4 nuns, including 2 Palestinian nuns. We'll talk about that coming up after the break. Of course, this is after the Pope and the Vatican had that treaty recognizing Palestine as a state. Even
Stirring
though
up
they did
a little controversy, I would say.
They officially recognized them back in 2012, but the treaty is the new angle of this.
Right.
And these nuns getting canonized. More coming up right here on Newsmax Now.